Hiya, hiya, hiya. Happy, 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 happy Monday. Happy Monday. Oh, happy, 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 happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy, 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 happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy, 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 happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. It is, I celebrate Christmas, okay? So happy Monday. It is what? Today is the 16th. So we have what? 9 more days until Christmas. Y'all, this is like, the song is true. This is the most wonderful time of year for me. I am so, so grateful. I love Christmas, y'all. I really, really do. I just did some more decorations to the house. And yeah, the kids came home, and my daughter, of course, our daughter was the one who observed and noticed, and she wants to help mommy um, decorate. So, yeah, so happy Monday. Happy Monday. I pray that you all are well. I pray that your families are well. I pray that you had an exciting day. I pray that you made the most of your day. I pray that you smiled and laughed more than you frowned and were sad. In fact, I pray that you did not frown today at all. I pray that the joy of the Lord is your strength. I pray that regardless of whatever season you are in your life, that you are enjoying the ride and finding the fulfillment in it, right? I pray that even as you rest, even on tonight, that you'll have peace because you desire, not just because you desire it, but because God tells us that He leaves peace with us. And one of the things that I realize is that receiving is a decision, right? And God leaves it up to us to receive the peace that He has left us. So, welcome to Transformational Monday. I am Dr. JaNee Mobley. I'm affectionately known as Dr. JaNee, and I help women take their purpose, their God given gifts and talents, and turn it into a profitable business, all while working their y'all, it's a gnat. I don't know if y'all like. I don't do gnats or fruit flies. Sorry, y'all. And it's like around this ring light. So I know, whole distraction, right? So as I was saying, I help women take their purpose, their gift, and build a business all while they're working their full-time jobs and overcome mindsets that will prevent profit, progress, and prosperity. So you all come on in. Tonight we're going to be talking about, I want to speak to the woman, I want to speak to the individual, especially women, because this is who I identify with. So I want to speak, and if y'all hear some hacking in the background, that is my amazing husband. So I want to speak to those of you all, the women who feel like you have so much going on. You wear multiple hats. You are wife, you are mom, you work a full-time job, but yet you know that there is an idea, there's a gift that you're supposed to share with the world. You know that there is a book in you. You know that there is a business in you, and you have yet to start writing. You have yet to share your business with people and start making the move because you're trying to figure out, how am I going to balance it all? I got children in school. I have all of these responsibilities. I'm active in church. I'm doing all of these different things and active in my community. How am I going to be able to balance it all? Let me tell y'all speaking to a wife, you're speaking to a woman, you're speaking to a mama, right? I work a full-time job while I build my business. And I say that with all joy because let me tell y'all something. It is a peaceful thing to be able to maintain the lifestyle that I have all while building and growing my business. So as you all come on in, say hi. That's a gnat. Hi, make sure you tell me where you're tuning in from. For those of you all who are interested in well, first of all, who are interested in starting your business, make sure you put a 1 in the comments. And if you're really trying to figure out how you're going to balance it all, I want you to put a me. I want you to type in ME in the comments. Also, click the link below and get your free gift of 5 mistakes that women make that prevent them from profiting from their purpose. So tonight, let's go ahead and get started. As you all know, I'm usually not on here any longer than 30 minutes. So let's get started, which is one of the boundaries that I create. So here's the thing. You're wondering how you're going to be able to sustain the life and build your business at the same time. How am I going to build my marriage? How am I going to grow my marriage? How am I going to connect with my kids and still be a great mom while building the business? And I'm going to tell you all, you can. You can still be a good person to yourself. Let me just say that. You can be a great person to yourself. You can be a great wife. You can be a great mama, all while you're building your business. Good evening, right? So I want to share with you all the ways that work for me. And again, all of this is about mindset. Right? Remember, your mindset is the positioning and the way of your thinking. So I want you to understand that you can do it. First of all, you can do it without being divorced. You can do it without losing your children. But you must first connect with yourself. This is what this is all about, right? So here's the thing. The first point I want you to understand is that you must be intentional. In order to balance it all, in order to build your business and maintain balance in your mind and maintain and sustain the relationships in your life, you must be intentional. When you look up the definition of intentional, it means to be deliberate. It means to be purposeful. So you must be intentional. You must be deliberate about making sure that you maintain a healthy marriage and a healthy relationship. A lot of the times things fall by the wayside. Sometimes people's health go downhill, all because they're not aware, nor are they intentional about maintaining good health. What may seem like a bag of chips today ends up turning into fried food every week, right? If you are not deliberately saying to yourself, I am going to be healthy, I am going to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So you have to make sure that you are deliberate, you are intentional about making sure that you maintain a balanced area in every area of your life. Because other than that, right, those areas of your life will fall apart. I know I've even heard of marriages falling apart because the drive for the business becomes more important than building the marriage. And the scripture, the Bible tells us that what does it profit a man or a woman to gain the whole world, to make all of this money, to have all of these transactions, to profit, to generate all of this revenue, yet lose your soul, yet lose who you are, yet disconnect from your children? What does it profit you to gain all of this financial success, but your personal life is in shambles? But when I work with my clients, the first area that we work on is, guess what? Mindset. Because as an entrepreneur, I want your business to be successful, but most important, I want you to be successful. Okay? So here's the thing. In order to balance all of the areas of your life, you must first balance yourself. You must first harmonize yourself. You must first pour into your cup. I always say this. I'm a solutionist. I coined that word. I am a solutionist. Okay? Meaning I understand, in the way that I see my purpose, my gifting, is that there is a problem. My ideal clients have a problem, and I have the solution for the problem that they have. As an entrepreneur, as a woman of purpose, you have to understand that you are a solutionist. And as a solutionist, you are a servant. The Bible tells us, and the foundation of my understanding is my relationship with God. That is my foundation. Okay? So when we look at the scripture, the Bible tells us that greater is he that is within us than he who is in the world. So if Jesus lives within us, Jesus was a servant, right? So in our purpose, we must see ourselves as servants. No, you're not giving your gift away, but you are to serve those that you have been called to serve. You are to provide them with a solution to a problem that you solve in the way that you solve it. And whenever you serve, you are pouring a part of your gifting out. And it supports them and it helps them to get the transformation that they need for the problem that they have. The thing is that whenever you pour out something, you have to ensure that you refill the very vessel that was poured out. Other than that, the vessel becomes dry. And what's happening is that a lot of people, men and women, especially women, are pouring out to everybody else. They're pouring into their children. They're pouring into their husbands. They're pouring into their jobs. They're pouring into the community, yet they neglect themselves. Right? How many of you all have met women, or are you that woman who's guilty of doing everything for everybody else, but you put yourself last? Here is the thing. Whenever anybody on here ever have flown on an airplane, right? So before takeoff, the airline, the flight attendants always go through the process of what you should do. God forbid the cabin loses, air, right? And the first thing that they tell you to do is not to help your child put on their mask. They tell you to put your mask on first. Why? Because we understand that if I can help me, I'm more effective and efficient to help somebody else. But what's happening is that other people, especially, and I'm speaking to women, you're putting on the mask for your clients. You're putting on the mask first for your children. You're putting on the mask first for your husbands, and you're saving them, yet you neglect yourself. Yet you forget to make time for you. Yet you neglect to pour back into yourself. So what happens is that you become an empty vessel. And what happens, an empty vessel from a human standpoint becomes bitter, becomes aggravated, becomes irritated. All because you didn't pour back into yourself. Right? So point number one, how do we get to the place where we can begin to build a business and still balance all of the areas of our lives? Number one, you must always be, let me take a sip of water. Y'all, this fruit fly is, sorry if y'all saw that shade. I got it, y'all. I got it. I had to get it. Okay. So the first thing, in order for you to be able to balance it all without losing your mind, is that you must be aware first of your emotional state. I just recently learned of the topic emotional intelligence. For years, I have always said that I make it a practice to be aware of my emotional state. I pay attention when I'm feeling anxious. I pay attention of when I'm excited. I pay attention when I'm full of joy. I pay attention when I'm angry. I pay attention when I know I'm about to get angry. Why? Because paying attention to my emotional state should determine how I approach other people, how I approach situations, right? And here's the thing for me, I really practice making sure that I have myself in a mentally stable state always. Not trying to make it seem like I have it all together when I'm really falling apart. And what's happening is that there are a lot of people out there serving and their cups are empty. They are full of anxiety. They are depressed. They are still grieving. And you've heard the phrase that hurt people hurt people. So imagine being a servant and you are supposed to be providing a solution to somebody's problem, but you hurting, you're broken, you're depressed, you need help. You need resources, but you still struggling to try to help and serve everybody else. Remember, you always, as a solutionist, you want to serve at your highest level. What is your highest level? Your highest level is when you are fulfilled. Your highest level is when you are healed. Your highest level is when you are whole. That is your highest level. Your highest level is when you are healthy. So you have to be aware of your emotional state. And what does this look like? Be aware when when you are feeling anxious or excited. Now I'm going to give y'all a sidebar. I've learned that people get excited and anxious kind of confused. Right? So be aware of your emotional state and learn how to confront what you are experiencing when it comes. If you're hurt, deal with the hurt. Don't act like you are okay and you're not okay. Because what's going to happen is, remember, a balance is maintaining almost like a state of equilibrium, right? So if you do not emotionally handle the challenges that come your way, something is going to get off balance, because a lot of your emotions are going to be focused on that particular area and something else in your life is going to go lacking. So always confront and deal with whatever your emotional state is. And here's the thing: celebrate the great times, embrace the great times, right? Number 2, get help where you can. Remember, we're talking about serving at our highest level, making sure that we provide our customers and clients with the most fantastic transformation. Here's the thing: that they will then go run and tell that, right? So in order for me to come to you all, even live, no, y'all ain't paying me, but I'm providing you all with strategy. So I have to be at my highest level. I have to be well. Right? So here's the thing: as a woman, as a wife, as a mom, all of those things, I want you to identify getting help in areas where you can. And let me tell you this is personally as well as professionally and in your business. Personally, if you can, right? And this is a mindset shift too, because it was a mindset shift for me, because I didn't grow up with no housekeeper. Now, my auntie, she had a housekeeper. I saw it, but my mama never paid a housekeeper. We were her housekeepers. We were the ones who had to clean up. So I didn't experience having a housekeeper. So identify areas in your personal life. If you have children and they have all of these different activities, identify where you can find somebody to transport them to and from their destinations. Even if it's a friend, even if it's a teenager who has access to a vehicle, get a babysitter so that you and your husband can take time by yourselves. When my husband and I go on dates, it's usually something that I've created, right? And I find somebody to keep our kids. Leverage family members if you can. Somebody trustworthy, right? If you can hire a housekeeper, hire a housekeeper. Because by the time you clean your house, bathe the kids, do all of this stuff, you're exhausted. And remember, the idea that God has given you is huge. It is not small. He didn't give you nothing small to do. So you have to be at your best self in order to ensure that that idea goes from idea on your shelf to implementation. From going and not making excuses to executing the idea. And even from the business side, identify where you can delegate. Hire a personal assistant, a virtual assistant, a niece, a nephew. Heck, I hire our 10-year-old son to do stuff for my business. I'm telling y'all, I re- I remember I used to hear people say that they used to hire people, right? And I didn't realize that sometimes, and this is something that I had learned, that you can hire your kids. Leverage who you have so that you can perform at your highest level. Get a virtual assistant, a personal assistant, an intern, a volunteer. Get a family member. Because remember, you want to be at your highest level. You don't want to serve from a place of exhaustion because that's from an empty cup. You want to make sure that when you show up to provide the solution to somebody's problem, whether you are an event planner, whether you're an author, whether you're a speaker, whether you do hair, whether you're an esthetician, whether you do nails, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you provide your end user, your clients and your customers the greatest value. Because I remember, and I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story in the book of Genesis, when they talk about Joseph, and this is the coat of many colors Joseph, who I like to call brother Joseph. And I love telling this story because it's so true in entrepreneurship. So Joseph was thrown into prison, right? And as he was in prison, he was still operating in his gift. That's a whole word by itself, okay? But here's the thing, in him operating in his gift, he was able to be a solution to somebody's problem, even in prison. So when that particular person that he provided the transformation for was released from jail, right, was released from prison, this person, unbeknown to Joseph, ended up working for the king, right? So when the king had a problem, when he needed his dream interpreted, this particular man heard the king saying that he needed someone to interpret his dream. So what did this gentleman do? He said, "Oh, I know somebody. This is what he did for me. He interpreted my dream and he was amazing." Not in those exact words, right? So as a result, Joseph is released from prison, all because one person went and told the king how amazing of a transformation that they received by connecting with Joseph. In that same way, I want you to see your business, your company, your gift in that same way. You do not know who will experience a transformation from you and then will go tell the right person. Even when I go live on YouTube, even when I share reels, I try to share content that I know will provide a transformation for somebody else, because you don't know who will then run tell that, who will then click the share button and share on all of their platforms. You have to think of yourself as being a solutionist. Your job is to provide a solution to the problem that they solve. And the only way that you can do that effectively is when you are at your highest level. So any area of your life that you can delegate, delegate it. When you think about expansion, here's the first thing: identify the things that you don't want to do. One thing about me, when I'm preparing for a workshop, I hate designing PowerPoints. I can give you the content. I can tell you what go on the slides. I am not a fan of graphics. So that's one area. Now, I'm not saying I won't do it. I have done it if I have to. But baby, I'll hire when it comes down to PowerPoints. Oh, I already got somebody for that. I always pick up the phone and call him. TJ, look, I need some slides designed. I need a workbook, because that's not my zone of genius. Yes, I can go on Canva. Yes, I can take all these tutorials. Yes, they can show me how to do amazing graphics, and I'm sure it's easy. But it still takes a portion of my thinking and energy to learn it, where I can take that energy and do something that's going to generate income into my business. I'm just saying. So identify areas where you can delegate. Remember, this is about you becoming balanced. This is about you becoming well. So again, and I'm going to say it again, so that you can perform at your highest level and at your highest self. These are things that I do consistently. This is the only way that I'm able to do all of the stuff that I do. Right now, my partner and I, we have started our nonprofit, which is a whole nother level of responsibility. But guess what? We are not going to have our hands in it 100% of the time, forever. Right? Because this is going to grow bigger than us. I know the God that I serve, and nothing that he does is ever small. It may start out small, but I know that it has the potential, and it will grow huge. I can't build huge by myself, nor can you build huge by yourself. So you want to always have the mindset of understanding how and when can I delegate this particular action, whether in your household or whether in your business. You're live from UK. I'm such a... Oh, listen, Dan. Thank you, and thank you for joining me from the UK. Listen, I'm gonna be honest, Dan. I had an issue with control. Okay, I wanted to control a whole lot of stuff. Like, even when it came down to my husband and kids. And it's sad that I literally had, and again, being aware of my emotional state, I realized that that was something that I was doing. But here's the thing, and this, I pray that this helps you. You always want to think about what your end goal is. So what is it that you desire to achieve in your company? And then ask yourself, one, can you do it by yourself effectively without burnout? Do you want to build the big by yourself that can lead to burnout? Right? If I'm always holding on so tight to something, then that very thing won't have room to grow. I think of my marriage that way. I think of my children in that same way. And I'm thinking of my business in the same way. I'm learning that if I hold on too tight to certain areas of my life, it won't grow nor will it evolve. And I know that I can't serve more people at my highest level if I don't get the help nor the support that I need. And here's the thing. When you become a control freak, right? It is a very much, how should I say? It is a lack of abundant way of thinking. Because abundance is infinite. There's no ending to it, right? So if I'm always trying to control something, I'm limiting it. I'll limit the capacity of it to evolve. If I'm trying to control every area of my business, I'm not allowing my business to grow and to become better and to help more people. So always think about, what is your end goal? What is it that you want to achieve? And understand that if it's something that involves evolving and growing, which I'm sure that it does, it won't be able to achieve that level of growth without having the necessary support. And here's the thing. There are people who are sharper and more, not sharper, but yeah, there are some people who are sharper in other areas where you are dull, who can come and sharpen your company. Even when you think about assistants and a support team and tech, these are people who can come in and make what you do even better. Right? So lastly, I hope that helped. Okay? Lastly, here's the thing. How do you balance it all without losing your mind? You got to make time for you. You have to. This is one area that I believe that I have mastered. And when I say mastered on a level of simplicity. No, it's not about going away on a sabbatical as often as possible. And that's great if you can do it. But with my lifestyle, I can't do that. So I have to be very creative. I'm very creative, right? I stay up late and have tea time. I'll go and I'll sit in my truck in the middle of the day and just relax. I do what I like to call be my first name. Not doctor, not Mrs., not mama, not the entrepreneur nor CEO. I pour back into my own cup. I show up for me. Because when it's time to serve my clients, I want to make sure that they get the best. I don't want to serve them half-heartedly. I don't want to give them broken pieces of me. Because again, we are solutionists. And the best way of helping me to help them to get the transformation that they need, I must always be at my whole and highest level self. So I'll steal away. I'll take time for me. I go for walks. I'll exercise. And let me tell y'all, I don't ever get excited about exercising. Let's just be honest. For me. Okay. I don't know about everybody else. But exercising is not something that's exciting for me. But let me tell y'all, every time I do it, I always mentally feel so much better. And that's what you're going to have to do, Dan. And you know, I love your transparency, by the way. Thank you so much for being honest, because you're not the only one who has struggled with that. Right? But when it comes down to exercise, y'all, it is not something that excites me at all. Okay? But the reason why I exercise, not just for my physical health, but mentally and emotionally, oh my gosh. Exercise is the greatest medicine. I see why the enemy fights people with it so often, because it's the greatest medicine ever. And I'm not talking about doing nothing intense, just going for a walk. It is one of the healthiest things that you can ever give back to yourself. So if you want to make sure that you're able to balance it all without losing your mind and grow your business, make sure, number one, that you're intentional about it, that you're deliberate about making sure you are your best self. Number two, always be aware of your emotional state. Number three, make sure that you identify areas in your personal and your professional and entrepreneurial life that you can delegate, and delegate it. Whether it's an intern or a volunteer, you don't have to pay everybody for everything if you can't, right? And use your children. Hello, and pay them, right? And lastly, number three, make sure that you do what I always like to call be your first name. Not Mr., not Mrs., excuse me, not Mrs., not the married woman, not you whatever you are at your job, not whatever you are in business. Take time to be your best self for you, because this is the best way that you're going to be able to serve people at your highest level and give them the greatest value, so that when they experience the transformation that you provide, they'll run and tell everybody just how amazing you are. Always know that it is doable to be able to be a sensational wife, a great mom, and build a successful business. But you must make sure that you build yourself first. If you all haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, click the link below, and get your free gift of 5 mistakes that women make that prevent them from profiting from their purpose. And until next time, know your worth. Good night, y'all. Bye. You're so welcome, Dan.